Hello everyone, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Attempt to Ford the River. This is a task in the SlipRock Swamps to unlock the Tatra FORCE. So, I have gone ahead and planned out a route here. So we're going to, that's the arrival point, but we're in the North Outpost. And we're going to head this way across the forest, go across the river, up the hill, and that's going to get us to the truck. And then we're just going to go back the same way, deliver the truck, and be on our way with a brand new vehicle at our disposal. So join me. I'll walk you through the steps. So for this task, we're going to be using the Step 310. I also brought a jack screw and an anchor with me, as well as I loaded the sideboards completely with fuel, just so that there's no chance we run out, because it is going to be a long, tough, and slow journey pulling this truck across the map. So we got plenty of fuel. We got the right tools for the job. Now we just need to go get the truck and bring it back. So first things first, we're going to head up this little steep spot here. To get up here, we're going to swap low gear, put the diff lock on. There we go. We're just looking for that little bit of traction. There we go. And then we're going to head down. And we're going to go across the river here. Again, we're going to pop it in low gear here just to get a little bit of extra traction through the mud. And going across this island here, we're going to kind of go right between these trees here. This is going to avoid this kind of cliff formation right here. And then from here, we're going to go straight up this bank here. You want to kind of approach it at a slight angle, because if you go straight at it, your front bumper is going to dig into the ground, and we don't want that. So once we're up here, I'm going to put this thing in high gear. I am using the high range gearbox. It seems to work really well with the step. Also gets you there a little bit quicker. So we're just going to drive through this forest clearing until we get to our spot where we'll be able to go down to the river. Alright, once we get over here, I'm going to put this thing back in auto. And we are going to very carefully navigate our way down the hill here. And once we get down over here, we're going to head down the riverbank right here. And this will be a little river crossing we'll be able to cross here. Again, low gear and diff. Water's not too deep here. We can get across pretty easily. Just want to go around these rocks here. Now, once we get over to this other side of the riverbank here, we're going to stick as close to the shore as we can here. It's very slow going. There's a bunch of rocks here, but the water is not too deep as long as you just kind of keep it on the shore here. The rocks are the biggest hurdle here. Just take a little bit of brute force to get over them. So we're using the winch with these branches a little bit here. Once we get over here, we're going to kind of avoid these big rocks. And this is our spot where we'll be able to ascend the mountain. So we're going to, like we did before, we're going to kind of hit this at a little bit of an angle. Just so that the front bumper doesn't quite dig in. Kind of using the winch to kind of balance ourselves a little bit there. And now from here, we're going to head straight up the mountain through all this brush. And once we get up here, we're going to just make our way up the hill here. And once we get to the top of the hill, we're going to go to the left, and then we're going to go right down into this this little valley here. Alright, and here we have arrived at the location, so now we just got to pull the truck out, go back the way we came, and the Tatra Force will be yours. So we're going to start by pulling it. You don't want to start the engine on the Tatra while it's in the pond because it will just drown itself at that point. So you got to be very careful. And you also don't necessarily want to run the engine too much because it only has so much fuel in it. And currently in Expeditions, there is no way to refuel mission trucks. Hopefully that's something they change, but it does kind of add a little bit to the fuel conservative side of resource management with doing these truck rescues. Alright, so once we get to the top, we're going to follow the path over to where our rock is, which I believe is actually down to the left. I missed the turn, so let's go back over that way. Should put the markers back down before I left, but that's all good. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fire up the Tatra here, just so that the engine is running on it, so that it doesn't just roll down the hill away from me. And what I'm going to do, instead of turning here, we're going to pull it straight forward. Back into this clearing here. Just like that. We're going to pull it right over there. So what this is going to allow me to do is get my truck turned around, and we'll be able to pull at this thing from the front. And also we don't have to worry about it getting mixed up in the turn there. While I'm at it, I'm going to top off our fuel while we're sitting here. And I'm going to fire up the engine here for just a minute, just so that we have a little bit of control with the truck going down the hill. Alright, now I'm going to turn it off. And we're going to just pull it along the riverbank here to get back to our island. You want to be very careful not to run the engine here in the Tatra, because it is currently underwater. The goal here is to just pull it forward little by little, just kind of slow and steady. So since we kind of got bottomed out on the rocks here, what I'm going to do is actually throw down an anchor right there. So we got to get this truck over these rocks. I'm stuck on the rocks at the moment. Once we get free of the rocks, just like that, I will be able to grab the winch. And we're going to grab our Tatra, and we're just going to keep pulling it forward here. Pull the Tatra over the rocks. And we got a big rock here that we're kind of stuck on, so we're going to pull ourselves across. And then we're going to grab the Tatra again. Alright, now that the Tatra is with us, we are going to cut across the island and make our way back to the base. Kind of got stuck in the reeds there. But we're just going to pull the Tatra up and over. And we're going to kind of aim for this spot right here, behind to the left of this tree. Because that is going to set us up the angle. We go around this tree, and we'll be able to take a straight shot right up the hill. So at this point, we are going to fire up the Tatra. Give us a little bit of extra momentum going up the hill. Kind of caught on a rock right now. So I'm going to go all the way up to level ground. Fire this thing up and away we go. It's all about the angle here. We kind of had a bad angle because we were so far back from the Tatra. Kind of got caught on the rock a little bit there. But that should free it up. Just like that. Alright, so we're going to pull this thing over to the left here. And I'm going to go ahead and shut the Tatra off again. As we're going to pull this thing across the path in the woods here. going to go ahead and stay to the left here. This is the real tricky part here. You got to watch out for this branch. We're going to try to go as far to the left edge of this branch as we can, just to get up and over it. And then we're going to go to the left here through this cluster of trees. And we're going to just take it right across the river here. And with the engine running, we'll be able to pull it right up this gap here. And you want to stay as far to the right here as you can. Get it away from that tree. Once you get it away from the tree, just bring it right up here. And we're going to come just straight across the base. And take it to the delivery point. And there you go. That is how you complete Attempt to Ford the River and unlock your very own Tatra FORCE T815-7. The only massive truck in the game so far. And it is an absolutely helpful truck. So, hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.